Welcome back to Mastering Beatmaking with the SP-404 Mark II. In this video, I want to cover chopping and manipulating samples. In the previous video, I kind of showed some basic audio editing techniques or sample editing techniques with a drum break. I cut it in half and showed how to stretch it out, pitch it up, slow it down. And in this video, I'm going to extend that idea by editing a sample. So to import my sample, I want to hit Shift, Import, Export, select the import option, go into Sample, go into my sample folder by hitting Enter via the Enter knob, and I want to go Sample 1. I want to put Sample 1 onto pad A2. So right now we're in bank A. I want to select 2, and I want to hit Enter with this Enter knob, and that will load that sample onto pad A2. And to get back to the working area, I'll hit Exit twice, and now that sample is on pad A2. Another way to edit samples is the chop method. There are various options for chopping via the chop method, so I'll kind of explore those now. So in order to chop a sample, you want to select the pad that the sample is on, and then hold down Shift and press Start End to select the chop. Here you'll see the waveform from that sample, and here we have a few options. So I think if I just tap the pad and start tapping the sequential pads, it'll be like chopping on the fly. So that's a really great way to kind of listen and just kind of select the chops where you think you want the chops to be, or if you hear something specific, you can kind of tap where you want that chop to be. It's super fast, probably the fastest way to chop. I typically go into the menu by hitting the Enter button and selecting Auto Mark. If I hit Enter, you go into time division. So 8 means there's going to be 8 slices for that loop. So it'll chop the loop into 8 equal pieces. If you want to edit the amount of chops, you can use this control knob here on the right, and you'll see that you can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 16 slices, because there are 16 pads available for slices to go into. So I choose 16, I hit Enter again. It'll say the current marks will be lost, so what I just did with on the fly chopping, that's going to be wiped out, and that's fine. Use the Enter knob to go over to OK and hit Enter. Now you'll see that there's 16 individual slices for that loop. I really like using that method because I can kind of reorganize the sample in a way that sounds good with drums. And then once you have those slices made and you want to send those somewhere to use, you can hit Menu again, scroll down to Assign to Pad using the scroll knob here, hit Enter. And from here, I want to go to a different bank. So usually I like to put my sample chops on bank C. So I'll hit bank C. You'll see here, Mark Auto Assign from A2. So once I'm in the new bank and I turn this Enter knob here, you'll see it jumps to C. So I don't want it to start at C2 or C3. I want it to start at C1. That's where the first chop will go. And then it'll load the sequential 16 chops in each one of the sequential pads here. You can adjust the gate on or off for your samples. So I like to turn it off by using this right control knob here. So if I turn that to the left, it'll turn the gate off. So now we're set to go. To assign those chops to the pads, the first step is to hit Mark. Some people think once you do that, the chops are set and it's good to go, but it's actually not quite there yet. Next step after that is you hit Enter, and that will load all of the chops into that bank. So right now all of those chops are in bank C, which is great, but you'll notice that there are a lot of pops and clicks in those chops, which is not great. I usually like to go and put all of those chops into a mute group so they don't overlap like they do right there. So if I hit Shift and mute groups, and then go into mute group A, usually, you can select A through J. Let's just leave it at A. And then you select the pads that you want to cut each other off. So it's usually a little manual process, but it only takes a second. So now those are going to cut each other off. And if I go exit to go back to the working area, that covers the cutoff aspects, but now I want to change the pops and clicks. I want to get rid of those. From here, I can go shift and envelope. This will adjust the fade in and fade out, or the attack and release on each one of those samples. But a good thing is that you can do this all at once. You can hold down copy. You can see it switches. When I press down copy, it says to mute group very quickly. If I let go, it says to current pad. So to current pad is pad C1, which is blinking here. And if I want to adjust all of them at once, hold down copy and then adjust the attack with the first control knob here. I usually leave it at 1, and then the release, I'll put that at 1 as well, and let go. And now we have no more pops and clicks. Super seamless, which is great. On top of adjusting the envelope, you can also affect all the pads at once as far as pitch goes. One trick I like to do here is to hold down copy, shift, and turn the vinyl mode off for all the pads. This is kind of a multi-key thing, but once you do it a couple times, it's fine. So hold down copy, shift, and then turn the knob to no, and then let go. So now the vinyl mode is off for all the pads here. So now if I hit copy again, I can affect all the pads again. If I want to pitch them up or down, I usually go down about 1 to 3 semitones. Yeah, that's kind of how you affect all the pads at once. You can also adjust the speed of those. So if I put it way down, you can really stretch it out. You can hear kind of some artifacting there, but some people like that. Some people use that as part of their kind of texture for whatever beat they're making. You can get super creative with that. So now that we have our sample chopped up and ready to go, you can also do the same with the drum break. So if I select A1 for the drum break and I go to Shift Chop, this is a perfect loop as well. So if you go into Menu, Auto Mark, Enter, Time Division 16 again, Enter. OK, enter. So now we have those drum chops chopped on 16 pads. Some of those chops are a little bit off, so you can kind of zoom in and adjust those. So the way you do that is with the middle knob. And again, if you want to hit resample, it'll go to 0 cross snap, so it'll try and find the 0 point, so it'll try and prevent pops and clicks. You can quickly adjust the start points of these samples. There we go. So all of the start points for each pad have been adjusted. Now we can go into Menu, Assign to Pad, Enter, and let's put these drum chops into bank B, and I'll set the starting pad for those to B1 by adjusting this enter knob here. Set it to B1, gate on, we want to turn that off, so the right knob, turn it off. Then we want to go mark, and then enter. And again, those are kind of overlapping, so back to the mute group, we'll go mute group B and set those. And hit exit. So now those are cutting each other off. If we want to adjust the envelope a little bit, we can hit Shift Envelope, and then same thing, hold copy to affect all the pads, and then I usually just adjust the release. So exit, and those drum chops are ready to go now. And we can affect those the same way that I affected the sample chops. So pitch, speed, pretty much anything. Now we have our drum chops in bank B and our sample chops in bank C. And I will leave it there for this video. In the next video, I'm going to be covering the pattern sequencer versus resampling versus a kind of hybrid approach for creating beats. There are many ways to make beats on this machine, and we'll get into it in the next video.